Get in, nerds. We are playing Hearts of Iron 4. Are still building up our second major field army. Once again, we've got an army here in the Philippines. I thought these guys were going to be training, and they're not. But they're training now, so it's going to be a minute before that matters. We're devoting 10 factories to arms purchases, and this is going to be continuing to bring in a fair amount of infantry equipment, which we'll of course need plenty of to continue to expand our armed force. There's the armored train. So those cost a bunch of production to build, but on the other hand, they're number one, very fun, and number two, they're really good against bombing. So we'll go ahead and build those. I'm going to queue in another couple of factories, but we're going to put these at the bottom for now. Once again, the United States historically did not use railway guns, so we're going to not use railway guns. Got our first set of infantry divisions deployed. We'll put them in the main army group. And we'll set them exercising, because we want to continue to get them up to regular. Exercising armies is... Ooh. Italy joined the German Reich. That means that Italy is now in the Axis. Italy pursues closer bonds with Germany. Italy and Germany have expressed many conflicting interests, particularly in Austria and the Balkans. This has not, however, prevented the countries' foreign policies growing ever friendlier towards each other. Negotiations are underway for a pact that will, quote, protect common interests, unquote. If negotiations are successful, we could see an alliance that will be able to exert great influence in Central and Eastern Europe. We will keep an eye on the situation. And what a situation it is. We're going to put these armies feeding directly into this, these divisions feeding directly into this army. There's civilians, so let's go ahead with military next. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Diplomats from Germany and the Soviet Union concluded what observers are describing as an historic agreement today with the signing of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Named after German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop and his Soviet counterpart Vyacheslav Molotov. This non-aggression pact stipulates that neither side will ally itself to nor aid the enemy of the other. Foreign diplomats warn that this treaty effectively gives Germany a free hand to wage war in Europe without having to fear Soviet intervention. This can't be good. So this is an interesting event that I want to talk a little bit more about. I'm going to slow down the game speed here. But the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact contained secret clauses that basically said that in exchange for this and for being able to purchase lots of materials and stuff from the Soviet Union, the two countries were going to basically divide up Poland. So when Germany invades Poland, Germany is going to get all of this territory here. The Soviet Union is going to get these states over here in the east. We'll know Wallachia. I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation. Don't rely on me for any of this. Novogrodek, Policy, Wolin, Lvov. I think it might be V. I'm pretty sure it's V for Lvov, and Stanislavov. So, but no one knew about those clauses at the time because they didn't know that Germany was planning for an invasion of Poland. We do want to go ahead and get ourselves another light tank built. This is going to be something a little bit different because this is going to be some self-propelled artillery. So we'll go ahead and put a fixed superstructure in here. And we're going to go ahead and put in a medium howitzer. For other modules, we of course want radio. And then I think for the rest of this, we're just going to do machine guns. And that's going to give us a little bit of extra defense and a little bit of extra soft attack. It's going to have to be the artillery roll. For armor here, let's see. I think we are... I'm always a big fan of welded armor. Let's go with welded. And then for suspension, I don't need Christie. So we'll go with torsion bar. We'll just throw some extra... Oh, that's very expensive. Actually, let's go with bogey. Wait a minute. Hold on. These are not that much production cost. Yeah, we'll go with Christie. If we go with riveted, it'll really cut the production cost down. Decisions. That's a really big armor penalty, though. No, we're gonna keep on with welded. We're gonna put a bunch of armor on these boys. Not that much armor. I don't want to spend chromium on this. Are these? It's gonna be chromium all the way up. I see. All right. Sorry, I'm doing my thing here. That's pretty good reliability and pretty reasonable cost. So this is going to be our mobile artillery piece. We're going to call this the CAG-39. That's close assault gun. And what this is going to do is this is going to be a mainstay of our heavy divisions, and those are going to be cavalry divisions with fancy tanks in them. Oh, we can only do Marmon Harrington for these. Eesh. Well, it is what it is. Let's give these a different visual setup. We'll call them this one. So I'm going to put 10 factories on these, and we're going to be having a cavalry division use them. So I'm just going to change up my physical division shape for this. Oh, armored combat support is its own thing. That's wild. So it's a 24 with division. We'll put maintenance in these and logistics. We don't have the experience for logistics. Oof. These tanks are not very reliable, but maintenance is still probably... No, maintenance is very resource intensive. We'll put logistics instead. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Did I make a new... I didn't. Hold on. That was silly. All right. So we'll call these heavy assault divisions. This is not an historically accurate division design, but it is very in the spirit of the kind of military thinking that predominated in the United States during this time period. By the way, we are also going to build some tank destroyer division designs, and you're going to see how they work. This is kind of a funny story to tell about the United States Armed Forces. There was a period where they created these tank destroyer battalions, and the idea of these battalions was they were going to be used to like plug gaps in the battle line, and the gap plugging was going to be sort of basically the idea was that German and Italian armor would be bashing holes in the battle line, and so the American armed forces would use these to plug those holes, and you want anti-tank forces for that, because and by the way, all this information, if you want to learn more about this topic, check out a book called An Army at Dawn by Rick Atkinson, is where I heard this story. It's part of a trilogy called the Liberation Trilogy. They're wonderful. They're beautifully written. They're just great books about World War II, about the United States in World War II. So that was the idea of what these, I think they were battalion-sized formations, were going to be used for. Field commanders did not think that way. They thought that was very silly. And so what they did was, instead of doing that, they had these battalions. They mostly issued them. And by the way, the word tank destroyer, the phrase tank destroyer, doesn't indicate a mobile force necessarily. There was a mix of mobile and towed anti-tank gun units. But it was meant to engender a sense of initiative in the troops. They weren't just anti-tank, they were tank destroyers. Anyway, commanders didn't see it that way, and they basically used them for all kinds of fire support duties. At the end of the war, the study done on them basically found that, or at the end of the African campaign, the study done on them basically found that they had, been used, that 9 out of 10 rounds fired by these support battalions had been high explosive rounds for doing regular fire support rather than armor-piercing anti-tank rounds. So field commanders were just not at all using them for the thing they were designed for use as, which is very funny to me. But we're going to build something like that. We're going to make them be division-sized, and we're going to have them be a mix of anti-tank, of tank destroyers and mechanized infantry, and we're going to see how well that works. There's first level cannons. Let's go ahead with continuing to upgrade our naval artillery. We got a lot of political power here. So let's go ahead and get ourselves... It's very good. This, Bradley. Bradley's the guy. And we're also going to get... where is he? Where's... Oh, I already got Clark. Alright. We're going to do... Yeah. We're doing Hodges for the commando boosts. And then we're going to do... Fletcher for the carrier efficiency. Alright, so, Army Department, that's very good. We'll get the Naval Department going. Tank Destroyer Doctrine, excellent. And we'll move forward to Armored Infantry. And I believe that gets us a design company. Yeah, here we go, Tank Destroyer Board. So this is... Alright, speed and reliability, that's quite good. Reduce fuel usage, extra speed. Here we got defense, armor, reliability, production cost. Yeah, we'll go with this one so far, and then, gosh, that speed is tempting. Yeah, we'll do it. 5% defense is not going to be, well, it'll be more for tank destroyers. Let me see. We can definitely do upgrades on these ship ones. Ooh, that's a really nice armor increase. But can I get speed out of any of this? Yes, over here I got max speed. And we got one more point. Heavy attack. Can't go wrong with extra heavy ship heavy attack. Task Force Shipbuilders. Let's get range is always really nice. Anti-air, light battery hit chance. That's not great. Production output is really solid. HP is really solid. Range and fuel usage or speed and fuel usage. Let's max out range. Is this the right call? I think it is. Yeah. It is for sure. And then we'll get working on this stuff. Cool, very good. Springfield Armory. We're about to get a new infantry equipment type, so this will definitely be useful. So let's see. What do I want here? These are exclusive, so for these we can get bolt actions or semi-auto. Reduced production efficiency gain is not that bad at all. So we'll definitely go that side for that compared to reduced soft attack, extra production efficiency gain. This goes a soft attack and breakthrough. Over here we got production efficiency cap, which is really nice. Reliability is okay. Defense is pretty good. And then we got breakthrough down here, which is pretty strong. Extra production cost is not my favorite thing, but it is what it is. Ooh. Defense and heart attack. This side's got a lot of breakthrough. Oh, this is the anti... Oh, this is anti... No, this is infantry equipment. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. We'll do this, and this one. And then for the Rock Island Arsenal, we'll go with... We'll start on this side first. So defense or breakthrough. Let's get extra breakthrough. Hydraulic recoil system, absolutely. And then for anti-tank, piercing, and heart attack. For anti-air, air attack. For artillery, heart attack, and breakthrough. Interesting. We'll do... That's very interesting. I don't use towed anti-air as the United States. Let's do better stuff for this one, and then for you. And now we'll update. Save us some experience points. All right. I feel like that's all we need for now. Let's keep the game going. I don't want to get too bogged down in those details because they are new to me too, and I can spend a long time just kind of staring at that stuff. We can definitely put in another round of troops. We have our heavy assault division template. We can for sure grab another, update our anti-tank. Senator speaks out against government policy. That's just fine. We are bringing in a bunch of infantry equipment. That's going to be serving us very well as we continue to increase the size of our armed forces. I think we are, at this point, we have as much... we have quite a surplus of anti-tank. We're still continuing to build up artillery, so at this point I'm going to increase my artillery need and scale back anti-tank, move these over into artillery. We're producing 6 anti-tank a day, and our division designs use so much more artillery than anti-tank that I don't think it makes sense to keep the ratio like that. We'll put one more in infantry equipment just to even it out. I do want to get these synthetic refineries built. Actually, I don't need to buy quite as much chromium or, indeed, as much rubber as I had been buying, which is very nice for us. That's the improved heavy battery. Let's go with the improved dual-purpose battery. We're almost at 1940, and we should be seeing a war in Europe before too long. Battlecruiser 2 is still being built, but that is not going to be ending anytime soon. I'm going to tell you all another really funny story about World War II. which is that apparently the invasion of Poland got delayed by a week at the last minute, and there was, I think, an entire regiment. It might have only been a battalion of German troops that just didn't get the message. The delay came in really close to the go Buck Wild day, and one of the units just didn't get the message, and it invaded Poland by itself, and it caused a minor diplomatic incident. They had to do a bunch of diplomatic maneuvering and finagling and stuff to get the world to believe that Germany hadn't just invaded Poland. It's a very funny, not funny, not haha funny. It's a wild and interesting situation. Let me put it that way. Let's put it that way. Let's get more units built. Okay, we're gonna get a third army going. So how long are we? Oh my goodness, making good progress over there. So how long are we short? 48 days for artillery, not bad. Then this is kind of a phantom number because we're still gaining efficiency on the artillery front. Infantry equipment, 46 days. Support equipment, 33 days. All right, cool. We're producing at good rates. So, the fall of Nanjing. Oh, they've done another naval invasion. The capital of the Republic of China, Nanjing, has been occupied by forces from the Empire of Japan. Despite fierce resistance from the walled city's Chinese defenders, Japanese troops managed to capture Zhongshan Gate and fought their way into the city. Sporadic gunfire can still be heard, and several fires are raging in different parts of the city, but most surviving Chinese forces have either withdrawn or been captured. Along with the capture of Shanghai, this is a significant victory for Japan in their war against China. A significant development. Bad news coming from Asia. Let's go ahead and keep developing our naval doctrine. Very good. Air Force Department is next. Still working on decryption. Probably going to move into machine-assisted decryption once departments are finished. Pretty well stocked on infantry equipment for the moment, so I'm not super concerned about those, about renewing those purchasing contracts. Plus, I really need to get my my air and self-propelled artillery production going properly. Representative criticizes president. Disgraceful. Still a little short of rubber. I'm going to kind of let it ride. All right. Poland refuses German ultimatum. Considering the demands that seemed inevitable, Poland would be forced to cede Danzig to Germany, and a Polish plenipotentiary would be sent to Berlin to negotiate further terms. Ignacy Mosicki, I'm doing my best, pointed to the German Reich's recent actions when stating that it was obvious Germany would not be satisfied with Danzig alone. German and Polish forces are prepared for war, and reports are already coming in of clashes on the border. Once again, there is war in Europe. Is there yet? Not quite yet. So UK is guaranteeing Poland at this time, which is historical. So this means that Germany is about to be at war with France and the United Kingdom. If they declare war on Poland, which it seems likely that they shall. There it goes. So, it is August 24th, a little bit earlier than the historical date, I believe. Let's see how the war goes. Poland joins the Allies. No one is shocked by that. World tension is up to 50%. Danzig is continuing to hold for the moment. But I think it's... Oh, no, it's cut off. They've got it. It's not cut off yet. Gdynia is not cut off yet, but Germany's got it. Forces coming in from eastern Slovakia as well. As you can see, this war is going much faster than the war in Japan, than Japan's war in China. Probably going to get an encirclement here, encirclement there. Maybe one around Krakow. We're about 2 weeks into the war at this point. Quickly do some research allocation. I'll go ahead and improve our field hospital design. Alright, and there's an encirclement south of Danzig that is pretty bad for Poland. There's another encirclement over here in the mountains. Pause. Yeah, these are almost done. It'll be fine. September 5th. In OTL, Poland held out about 4 weeks, I think. But it might have been closer to 6. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've read about that. There's the better medium batteries, so we'll go to the light ones next. German forces are almost at Warsaw. East continues to hold, but they're pushing towards Bialystok. German forces are at the gates of Warsaw. Krakow has fallen already. Krakow is a very old historical capital of Poland. Grodno has fallen, and Bialystok is being invaded right now. Okay, that's good. Warsaw is continuing to hold, although German troops have surrounded it now. And Warsaw is cut off, so it's probably only a matter of time until Warsaw... And there's the fall of Warsaw. The fall of Warsaw. German forces advancing in Poland have succeeded in capturing Warsaw. Sporadic fighting continues in Praga and a few other districts, but organized resistance in the city seems to have ceased. The Polish government reportedly evacuated the city, as the first German units entered Warsaw's suburbs, and their present location is unknown. Fighting against German invaders continues in other parts of the country, but the loss of the capital is a serious blow to the Polish war effort. Poland did not stand a chance. Poland has capitulated. You're going to see this prompt a lot in this game. I'm just going to read it but one time. We already have one for Ethiopia, but we'll see. The Polish government has gone into exile, and their main forces have capitulated to the German Reich, who is now in control of their home area. The struggle between the German Reich and Poland was only a small part of the conflict. The war between the Axis and what remains of the Allies continues elsewhere. Uncertain times. And then... So, we had August 24th to September 18th. That's about 4 weeks. Pretty good timetable. And now... There's the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact paying off for the Soviet Union. Actually, this goes farther west than I thought. I didn't think they'd get Bialystok, but yeah. So this is going to be the front in 1941 when Germany invades. That is the 1939 infantry equipment researched. We'll go ahead and move right on to updated anti-tank. USSR occupies eastern Poland. Here's the event for this. Soviet troops have occupied eastern Poland officially for the purpose of protecting Belarusian and Ukrainian minorities from the chaos that followed the collapse of the Polish government. German forces have withdrawn from these areas in good order, resulting in Poland's effective partitioning between the two powers. A likely story. Is UK still embargoing me? They are. You fool! German pressure towards the Benelux. Following the breakout of war with France, Germany has applied stronger diplomatic pressure than ever on the countries of the Benelux. With French and British backing, however, they are refusing to give in to the pressures. There is reason to believe that if the German Reich is unable to get what they want by diplomacy, they will take it by force. That would be an aggressive strike. So, this is going to be where the war is going to happen at this point. In Hoi-4, Germany will often execute a... Yeah, okay, fine. We'll buy a little bit more rubber. We'll do not exactly what they did historically, which is they did a push through the Ardennes forest over here and kind of cut up around this way. Often Germany invades the Netherlands and then does a wide front invasion directly south into France. That was a plan that the German High Command had for a little while, but they didn't end up doing it exactly that way. Over in China, we've got the front is expanding, which is not my favorite, but it is what it is. All right, there's armored infantry completed. We're going to go ahead to... I have to get the Bureau of Ships. Bureau of Ships is probably solid. On the other hand, we're going to move towards Women's Armed Services Integration Act. That's going to be very important for keeping our army expanding at a healthy clip. Still a little bit short on artillery. Now, Germany hasn't declared war on the Netherlands or Belgium yet. And incredibly, there actually is fighting on the Maginot Line. There we go. Netherlands joins the Allies. So, potentially, since they're doing Netherlands first, we may see... well, we won't see it, but there may be British troops in the Netherlands. Maintenance Company 2 completed. Very good. Go ahead with... Got those in the works already. Let's go ahead and knock out better ladder shooting and fire prevention for our ships. That'll that'll give us a very solid naval edge. Alright, so there's the Netherlands taking over. Well, not quite yet. They're still pushing. There's Amsterdam taking over. And Netherlands capitulates. Alright. Oh, and the Winter War is beginning. So we'll see what happens with that. The end of the League of Nations. With the declaration of war on Finland by the Soviet Union, the League of Nations has failed in its attempts to preserve peace. Joseph Stalin openly mocked the League's inability to do anything, and with that took his country out of the League. With other world leaders also questioning the point of the League of Nations if it can't prevent conflicts, the days of the League are de facto over. While the Council continues to meet, no one expects it to actually accomplish anything anymore. Whatever authority the Council once had is long lost now. Not totally unexpected. Finland rejects Soviet demands. Soviet diplomats have presented an ultimatum to the government of Finland, demanding border adjustments in the region of Karelia. That is here. This whole area. Despite a significant buildup of Soviet forces on the border, Helsinki has rejected these demands, stating that not a single foot of Finnish soil will be given willingly to Russian aggressors. International observers fear that a Soviet invasion may be imminent. This will not end well. On the land. So, and there's German Reich declaring war on Belgium. Belgium joined the Allies. So interesting. We didn't see a sitzkrieg right away in this timeline, because all of this action here historically happened in spring of 1940 rather than in fall of 1939. So Germany is kind of ahead of the historical schedule, but I think that's still the way they're designed to do it. I think the historical AI is not. It's not designed to, like, in the context of decisions like this, it's designed to act intelligently, not historically accurately in that same way. So we're probably about to see the war moving into France. There is the 1940 medium tank researched. We don't have the capacity to build them right away. But we will get started researching our 1940 mechanized. And there's the capitulation of Belgium. We'll go with another level of machine-assisted decryption. Germany declares war on Luxembourg. That's not shocking. Luxembourg into the Allies. So, and here is the first push of German troops into France. So we'll see at this point how things go. Germany is in France as of October 15th, Hungary is into the Axis. That is an historically accurate event. Luxembourg capitulates. No one is surprised by that, I hope. And German Reich declares war on Denmark. We'll see how that goes. German interest in Scandinavia. The German Reich has clear strategic interests in Scandinavia, both for bases of military operations and for the sake of natural resource imports. The escalating conflict has meant that there is very real threat to any resources buried through the Baltic or North Sea. With gradually intensifying diplomatic threats against Denmark and Norway, an increase in German military operations in the region seems likely. We shall see how the situation develops. So we have reached 100% world tension, and in an... What? Did Germany invade Denmark? Did they just put one unit in Copenhagen? That's weird. I don't know what happened with that. Anyway, the German Protectorate of Denmark and the United Kingdom have signed a white peace. So Denmark is a Reichsprotectorate of Germany, but they're not at war. I think that might be new with the new expansion, actually, because that is kind of historically what happened. Germany basically said, we're sending guys in, and Denmark was like, okay. Norway is in the Allies, and Iceland declares neutrality. The Icelandic Althing has issued a statement declaring Iceland's neutrality in the conflict between Denmark and the German Reich. The parliament also declared Svein Bjornsson regent in the absence of a king, and Svein Bjornsson will manage the foreign policy of Iceland. The statement indicates that this is a temporary measure, that the pre-war relations with Denmark shall once again be restored once the conflict is over. However, until such a day, Iceland is de facto independent. Neutrality did not save Denmark. Excuse me? Norway declared war on the Norsk National Regering. Okay. Alright, so... And they join the Axis. Alright, so... A civil war has built up in... Oh, this is Quisling's government. Yeah! Fascist lackey! Dickhead. Yes, so this is kind of faded out of popular memory at the moment, but for a long time after World War II, Quisling was just a nasty, nasty word. His name became synonymous with betraying your country to serve its enemies in exchange for power. So that's interesting. So this is a new event as of the current patch. The current expansion pack, which did a lot of work on the Scandinavian situation. Historically, Germany typically does not invade Sweden, but we'll see. Germany is advancing towards Paris. France still has its disjointed government debuff, which it starts the game with, and which typically, in an historical run, it doesn't get rid of until pretty late in the game. So, which means that basically, once Germany gets to Paris, France is going to fall, and any British troops in the country are going to be SOL, but we'll see. Senator from California offers support. The senators from California have approached the government, offering their support for the president in return for an informal guarantee that California would be the site of a new munitions plant for the Army. They argue that building a plant in the area would create a lot of jobs and provide the Army with much-needed support in an increasingly dangerous world. The two senators also mentioned their excellent working relationship with several influential members of the House. Well, who are we to refuse a generous offer like that? They make a lot of good points. All right. So, battle is happening in Paris right now. German forces are across the Seine. In the north. It's now 2 weeks since German forces got into Paris, although maybe we should trace this back to the start of battle with Belgium, but unfortunately I don't remember what date that is, so we'll see how it goes. It does appear Germany has intervened here, or at least that the fascist rebel Norwegian faction is the dominant one at the moment. I don't actually know how that goes. The fall of Paris. While fighting still rages elsewhere in Free France, reports have come in of German troops entering Paris. The capital was declared an open city by French forces moments before their last units retreated. Several columns of German troops recreated the Prussian victory parade of 1871 by marching down the Champs-Élysées while Parisians looked on in stunned silence. Military experts predict the collapse of Free France is imminent. The German Reich army seems unstoppable. France has capitulated. So, that is the fall of France, and Germany continues to expand. We have a proper World War II happening now. There is still active ground-level fighting going on in Norway. Let's take a look at the war. We got 3 wars currently going on. There's the Soviet-Finnish War, which, we can take a little time with. Not a whole lot has happened right now. Soviet Union has caused Finland 16,000 casualties. Finland has caused the Soviet Union almost 25,000 casualties. That's a perfectly respectable kill death for Finland. Well within the bounds of reasonable for a conflict of the Soviet Union versus Finland. Although Soviet Union has pushed quite hard in Karelia. Actually, they're already in Viipuri. That's pretty bad for Finland, but we'll see how things go. And this is the main conflict here. So German Reich has suffered 83,000 casualties, 45,000 from Poland, and 34,000 from France. France has suffered about 70,000 casualties, which is not that much, and Poland has suffered 142,000 casualties. The UK has suffered 25,000 casualties, mostly from Italian troops, and that is probably because the fighting has occurred over here in Africa, where the UK appears to be winning the battle to liberate Ethiopia. This situation seems rough, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, the war in China is continuing, so let's take a proper look at where things are with that. Japan has suffered 305,000 casualties, mostly from China, aka the CC clique. China is about halfway capitulated here. They suffered 1.7 million casualties. That's a very solid kill death from the Japanese perspective. But of course, it's pretty difficult to win a war against China by just inflicting casualties by itself. Japanese progress continues, but this is probably about in line with the historical timeline. They were bogged down for a long time in the north here, so they've kind of gotten moving in the coast. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. At any rate, that is all we have time for this episode. I've had a good time. I hope you've had a good time. And I will see you all on the other side.